Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Wherever you. Joo, ei mitään. Joo, ei mitään. Sori, meitä aloittaa tekemään duunia tässä näin. Niin. Joo, niin. Yeah, good morning. I have a household maintenance guy, sort of like what I do, but he's working for some other company. He's opening the drains with some acid because I'm all out. Otherwise, I would do it myself. Anyway, uh, yeah. Hey, hello. How are you doing? Uh, this video is going to be public, like public. It's not going to be semi-public. It's going to be public, and usually I don't really put like money behind these videos or advertise these or anything, but because these are mostly informative at this moment, and uh, so who am I? Well, I'm a guy with a lot of different kind of skills, and I've been, as in example, I've been working as in a Santa Claus for real. Every ei ole mitään väliä. Kyllä se sieltä pääsee pois. Se on fiksu jätkä, se osaa avaa se ove ja se lukituki ove. Joo. Kiitoksia tosi paljon. Kiitti. Samoin, moro. Yeah. So as I was saying, I've been sometimes, or not this last year, I didn't work as in a Santa Claus, but usually almost every winter in the Christmas, I used to be Santa Claus for depends. I had some like years when I didn't do it because it felt like it started to felt like really personal, and it it was really rewarding to see the joy of the kids, but then in the same time it sort of like took a really big piece of myself every time because I sort of lost my kid. So he's alive, and I have a daughter too, but uh, they are not living with me at this moment. Noah's mother and I had a we broke up before he uh, came to this world, and and just just saying that it started to feel quite personal, and it was a little bit hard to deal with, you know, sometimes, and uh, mostly I just wanted to basically like tell you who I am and how it's related to this what I am filming. And sorry, my camera is right there, but I have computer screens over here, so it might feel a little bit uh, that I'm not talking directly at you. Sorry. Uh, yeah. Hey, what's happening? I'm pretty far away from where this designated recipient would be, meaning that I heard about that there is a strike of writers and filmmakers in Hollywood, and oh my God, uh, I don't know what's happening in United States of America, or I could be like reading the newspapers and stuff. But to be honest, I just haven't got time. I've been busy working with projects and really busy with projects and everything. And I just received a message from a client, and I'm fucking swamped with work at the moment. And I'm like, oh my god, how I can like do this? And man, sorry, starting to feel a little bit about the pressure here. Uh, I wanted to really talk about public appearances, public reputations, public speech, freedom of speech, and etc. And I guess I could say that I'm sort of like a journalist, photographer, but I'm many other things too. I'm also a doctor in more than one field actually, and that makes my life sometimes really fucking complicated. It does. I mean, like the higher the education I got, the more fucking complicated my life got. And to be honest, sort of like only doctor in the world in my area of field, or the combination what I've got is unique. So that's one of those complications. I also had a professional uh, identity crisis for years, and what the fuck's that anyway? It means what I didn't know what I want to do, and that's really sad, to be honest. I have this small company what I have been nurturing and cultivating, and gave my gave my blood, sweat, and tears to it, and it's fucking killing me. It's really fucking killing me. If you would know what kind of places and situations I've been, it wouldn't make any fucking sense. I'm trying to like keep somewhat steady mind because I'm telling you something what is quite heavy for myself, you know? I should be focusing on stuff what would make me go forward, and that's an other complication. The Mr. President of United States of America was just in Helsinki yesterday, and I'm sort of like a private investigator, and I work for the government, also police department. It's not like that I go there every day. Even my colleagues would they will be happy if I will be there because I'm actually a police chief because my company is working for the police and of course they wanted to know that, hey, you're like, on top of your game, right? And man, oh my god, I'm also getting a fucking heartache when I'm thinking about this all and how fucking complicated it is. I should be, if I would really want to or try to help you guys in over United States of America at this moment, the least what I could do is to be reading the news, because then I could write something about the subject to express what I think about. In that form, I could work from the remote location. It would be better than nothing, yes? We had a fucking really difficult past 4 years. I mean, also in Finland, we had coronavirus, then we have the war of Ukraine, also the forest fires in America's soil, the internal problems, Mr. President Donald Trump being faced on the trial, and his like election voters. Mr. Trump is actually, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but he's a client of mine, or used to be, and I'm not sure what is today's situation, to be honest, because I don't want to say that he's my client if he wants to fire me or whatever. We haven't been in contact in many years because I've been so busy, and there's some things what I've been working on, and it's sort of like secret police technology, but it's also at the same time it's just normal stuff what I do. Like, I mean that there's in the end result, this particular project that I mentioned about is more like about communication links and stuff, because I make networks too, but it's because it is a part of my company's key infrastructure in virtual world. It's it is it's not that secret, but it's hard to explain. Where's the what's white, what's gray, what's black in this context? It's grayscale. Uh, I understand a little bit about how the America's system in politics works, and I understand some things about the juridical system, how it works, but there are some differences between Finland and also USA. And uh, if I start comparing how different countries and different kind of uh, legal or court system or military traditions or whatever works, it's gonna be like I've been shooting this video for the rest of my life. Basically, it wouldn't stop. It would be so big and long thing to go through that it wouldn't stop ever. And of course, I did what I could in order to help Mr. Trump. It means just a letter, basically, but I haven't still got enough time to go through with the case file, and there are so many complicated subtopics about this thing that my job was quite complicated. And also in the same time we had this information leaking and stuff. Okay, well, no biggie, but as in a police officer and working for the FBI in Finland, I've been like paying attention of the thing, I've been like doing the things that I can from here, because I had like projects, but I cannot just, they I need my hands on to them, and these projects I couldn't take with me. So my hands have been tied, more or less, with work, I mean. And I'm not sure if I should apologize for that. I'm working my ass off here. And I'm working for, of course, for myself, but also for the greater good. And I also know stuff about banking and stuff. So that's on my plate. And my company also is a private investment bank. So forgive me that it's really fucking complicated. I like United States of America. I love the place. Actually, one song that just came to my mind. I want to play it for you. One second. I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, it's this one. This one is "Take Me to America," Salvatore Ganacci, and 2022. And I've this is brilliant song. Let's hear out the tunes. I'm from Bosnia, take me to America. I'm from Bosnia, take me to America. It was a game over. Game over, yeah. All right. So, one moment to make small adjustments here. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about the freedom of speech, and the freedom of speech can be complicated, meaning that if I would be a marine in a boat, it's not democracy when we are international borders because it would mean a mutiny, basically. International borders, the captain's word is the fucking law. He is the law on that ship. He's responsible for everybody's safety. That being said, you understand how much responsibility that kind of position will give you. It's not about the freedom, but it's about the responsibility. If you if you don't have a good captain, then your ship will not function good. Of course, there's a second in command. The first officer is the who mostly like keeps the ship going to the where it's supposed to go, right? But everybody on that boat is needed. The chef, the captain, the first mate, the second mate, and all the others. They are all needed. There is no single uh, ne- not necessary post in that. And sometimes these type of things are questions of perspective. Uh, what I'm referring to is what kind of like signals or goosebumps, sort of like mental type allergic reaction. Didn't like this, so I got provoked about this. As in a police officer, and also as in a father of a young child, and also just personally, I'm so much against that anybody is getting bullied. I've been teased in school like years, but I'm okay with that. I'm like I I made my peace with those people, but I'm deadly if I need to. You don't want to piss me off like intentionally. That would be a really stupid thing to do. It's the same if I would piss off my boss intentionally. As in a police officer, I must obey the law. Even sort of I am the law. But still, there are still like laws and regulations that apply to me. And fuck, it is a little bit difficult if there would be too much changes. In example, the justical uh, laws what relates to me, meaning that how to explain this? Well, usually I work for like outside of Finland as in a police officer, but lately I had during last year I had to investigate many crimes where I was like uh, their victim, and it might be unethical, and it is unethical a little bit, and it's really fucking hard. Of- I know that I don't need to. I could delegate it, but in a way, I wanted to save some time of my colleagues to other more important stuff, and these things can be really fucking difficult to investigate. So that being said, I hope you understand. Uh, I am I don't know for the reality because I don't have at this moment I don't have like friends who I could ask from about what's the situation over there. I mean, I lost contact. I have some nieces and family living in there, but they haven't heard from me in a long time. So how would I know? But I trust that it's only like the extreme situations what I'm worried about. But right now I'm thinking about all those actors and movie industry and everything. What's that all about? Hey, what's the problem? Can I help somehow? I used to work for the non-profitable organizations. Uh, Sometimes it has been like environmental, like how to say, um, protecting waters. Actually, I was involved in organization that was uh, non-political. It was only like save the lake type of thing because we have in Ojakala in Vihti there is this lake what is almost like a fucking field. I mean, like you could grow potatoes in there. Basically, it's that's much full of fertilizers, and I was working as in a secretary for like 1 year. I was offered to be the chairman also, but I said that I would like to uh, take a look first what somebody else is doing who actually has some experience about this and knows about the organization rules and everything. So maybe later I will be your chairman. And the next year when we had an sort of like election, or it wasn't like democracy type of thing all the way, but partially yes. Then there was somebody who actually had an geopolitical background, quite a lot of actually, and high level geopolitical background. And this later chairman was like when the leader changed, the first one was environmental engineer. Okay, uh, the second one was had been working in the past for President Tarja Halonen, actually, President of Finland, the first lady president. What we had, as far as I remember, I don't think we had any other lady presidents. But Tarja Halonen was really good president. I admire her really a lot. And also Mr. President Ahtisaari, he won the Nobel Prize. And what is like there are some things in the juristical meaning in the geopolitical stuff, but they're not politics directly, but they are like processes what is sort of like a result of something, and these are good things, and because there has been so much time, like more than 5 years, the for example myself might have forgot, or I just don't um, uh, forgot is not maybe the right word to describe this. I mean more like that. It's sometimes hard to see the connection if this happened like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and relevation to this date of time. And also this is also about like culture psychology or social psychology actually. And the social psychology aspect of this is that I'm 35, so it only takes like 10 years younger people than me, and they are living completely different world, completely different kind of world. And also some of the people who are my age, they might have a totally different viewpoint of this whole life situation where we are at than I do. And that's a bummer, really. I think that makes it complicated. And in democratic republic or democratic uh, country, you are right to have express your like opinion. And in example, if I would be like sexually uh, diverted somehow, I would have the right to be myself, right? It's almost the same thing that because I have a long hair and this, and if I would have my leather jacket on, somebody would, some young like 20-year-old uh, woman was once like that. This my guy might need must be a junkie because he looks like that. And she was actually high on cocaine. I was driver. I was the designated driver. And what she does, she starts to like mud flap to the driver who's gonna take care of them and take them to the after party. I showed him what I got. I wasn't driving my own car, but I took a like small road, which is like 60 kilometers an hour, the speed limit, unpaved road. Guess what? I put the step on the metal and put earplugs, both of my ears. A friend of mine in the front seat was like a little bit concerned that, dude, are you alright? I was like, yeah, I'm driving. Don't worry. Trust me. Everything's alright. I just wanted to show the fucking bitch in the backseat that don't make false assumptions like that. I was I was really polite. I was really a gentleman, and she probably just didn't have manners. But it wasn't my thing to teach her manners. She wasn't my bitch anyway. So the, my point here is more or less a freedom of speech and leadership. All right? And excuse me, but if I see somebody criticizing my colleague or my supervisor or my boss, I take it as an like I need to little bit. What was that? Repeat that, please. Right fucking now. You know, not saying that you're not that you're not allowed to express your opinion. Of course you are, but I will just little bit want to talk with you and exchange some kind of opinions, and I would educate you. I would educate you to behave at least, or if you are in like close but not accurate, I would zoom in for you because I don't want you to have like I wouldn't want you or anybody to leave left with wrong impression. I'm talking about details. I have lots of debates about many areas of fields, and oh man, there are tough negotiations sometimes and complicated. 1 second, I'm going to get a lighter. I wouldn't like to make life too goddamn complicated by using two component system for lighting just a cigarette, but hey, guy got to do what the guy got to do, right? No harm in that. But please be aware. I have been in the third world countries, in Russia, in Africa, many places, and India, and this, and so I know a few thing of you. All right, and there has been like okay, there has been problems. There has been the financial crisis, what involves America a lot. Hey, try to chill out. Try to calm yourself. We heard you. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm making also Washington great again. Quote from Mr. Donald Trump. Hello, sir. How are you doing, sir? I hope you are feeling all right. Please, if I may make a suggestion, chill out. Try to stick to the facts, sir. I cannot really support you or not support you. You know this. Or probably somebody educated you about this. I'm talking about citizen activism and that sort of thing. I cannot be politically involved. I can't. It makes things really complicated, and it's also really, really, really in the gray area of the law, and it's too close to the black. Usually, I've been working in the gray area, meaning the military, in one way. But I can't talk too much about it. I don't want to make anybody to be in threat. Sometimes the threat comes from inside, not outside. Not talking about like civil war or anything, but sometimes. We also, during my lifetime, almost had sort of like civil war, but it's not public information because it was like biker gun thing. One moment. This was years ago, many years ago, and at the time, I think this was maybe around, I don't know, 2008 or 9. So I was in the start of my career then. And I was hanging around in the wrong crowd. I was working with the big boys. And I'm not I could talk about it if I would want to. There is no problem. Like it's old stuff. Like and whatever we or I did, it was never harming anybody. Never. Even I was sort of like in the black area mostly in the law of terms, or at least I was like under surveillance, and and whenever if something happened or I got sort of like busted, I was like, yeah, just do your job. I admit what I've done. So what's the problem, sir or officer? Just saying that even even the like even the criminals or this kind of people also have rights. And why I am taking this out now, or what I'm trying to say with this, I'm trying to say that it's hard to evaluate sometimes what is what. Again, that piece of shit. I'm sorry about the swearing. But I'm sure I have a proper lighter somewhere. I'm gonna need to find that. One moment. I didn't find the lighter, but still relying on the backup systems. I have plenty of backup systems, but uh, the only thing is that having like if I like divide one matchbox to different match sets and put them like all of the jackets, all of the trousers, all of the backpacks, cars, whatever I have, they're like spread all over, you know. Sometimes even that might make my life a little bit complicated. But if I would be relying only on one thing, then I would probably just keep forgetting stuff that I should have with me all the time. And basically, that's the situation anyway. Because, well, do you see this here? This is just construction site blinker. And the purpose of this is that it is a warning when it's on to the other people around me, because it means that I don't necessarily see well behind or something, or maybe it's just generally saying that be careful, this is a moving machine. I don't want you to get caught, hurt or anything. And I have a license for like guiding traffic, and in example that area of field, the Finnish government made it a little bit easier. I mean, like they wanted to people to have or the companies and the workers to have access to this education. So instead of the certificate costing like 100 euros, pretty much the same in dollars, it's free, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the workers, because that's one form on and one way to keep them safe while working in the traffic. But in the downside, it also sort of like lowered the standards a little bit on somewhere where it is important to have really clear plans about how to proceed with things. And in the private side, this is sort of like a problem sometimes, because it is so much uh, connected to the how good the manager is in that company, you know. And that's the key. That's one of the keys. And also relating to stuff what is happening in the American soil, like if I would be working in Hollywood or living over there, probably it wouldn't. I would be able to help you. I'm sure I would. I mean, like, hey, what's the problem? How can I help? What am I going to do about this? Well, uh, good question. I'm going to try to utilize the resources of what I have, meaning time, money, location, everything. But my life is quite complicated. And I'm not trying to be over exaggerating. I'm not worried about my safety or anything. I'm a police officer with, and I'm in the special forces. So, and that's as far as I can tell. But I can tell you also this one. I'm not the average Joe police officer. I never been because my professional background is complicated. It is utterly mind fucking complicated. If you didn't understand what is utterly mind fuck complicated, then maybe you should like lay off the mushrooms or lay off the Jack Daniels, or maybe you should take more. You would want to have my poison. I mean, like the actual good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff. 80% alcohol with some fucking kick-ass weed, but will basically, take to the other fucking dimension almost. That's like hospital grade stuff. That's kind of products what I've like create, not in the laboratory usually. Or I mean, I am in a fucking lab right now, or hospital, special hospital. That's the truth also. I am a fucking hospital. I've traveled with an hospital. It has limited equipment, of course, because usually my hospital is the size what I can basically take into my backpack and just go. If you would be in emergency, you would be happy if I would be among the first responders. But you don't want to create emergency when there is no emergency. Don't fucking make a problem unless there is a real fucking problem. Of course, you're like allowed to tell your opinion, and wise leader will listen to you, and you will be able to work through it. I respect Mr. Biden a great lot. I love his style. I think that he is the maybe the best thing what the United States of America have seen in a long time. But no disrespect to Mr. Donald Trump either. We are still in business, sir. So, sir, Mr. Trump, no matter who actually wins this next elections, don't worry about it, sir. We are not going to lose fucking anything. And anyway, I'm your lawyer, dude. Or if you want me, I'm your lawyer. So chill out. Don't be aggressive. Don't be racist. Scratch those things out, please. I know that it might be like your key target audience on your home country, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm just trying to say that don't resign from NATO if you will win the elections. That's a bad idea, sir. Finland is trying to apply to a member of United Nations, and we are still part of NATO. I don't think they do those two cancel those each other out because they are different things. The United Nations is an highly appreciated organization, and I've been working with them, sir. And NATO is part of the United Nations. So I don't know what the fuck's happening with the Justice Department. Uh, I was summoned to the court of Hague. They wanted to see me. They didn't say that we have a problem. They actually asked me if we have a problem, and what if we have a problem? Can we talk? I said yes. If we have a problem, we can talk because we were doctors, all of us. So I don't know. I hope everybody is alive and well. I hope that you can trust your police officers. I hope so. Really do. My hand on the Bible. I will tell you the truth, only the truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Does that answer to your question? I already said too much. But these things what I'm talking about at this moment is some things what I've been already talking about with people outside of Finland. But it's been years ago, and oh, I must confess that I'm really shy. I mean, like, I have lots of fans and clients, and let me tell you a true story. Once, when I was like trying to get to vacation, and there was like a lot of people who will like just want to meet me, and I was like, oh fuck shit, evasive maneuvers. Then I like not run, but walk in a fast place behind the corner, and then I was like, fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, there's the door. Is it open? Yes. And then I went to the inside, and there was a meeting, and some people were having a they were working. It was a base airport. So I come there off duty, and these people are having their meeting. I don't know what they were doing, but doesn't matter. I was like, "Oh, sorry. I'm sorry to bother you." And the the boss of that room or whatever was like, "Hello, who are you?" My name is Ville. Hello, Ville. How are you doing? I'm okay. I'm okay. Then I was like next to the door and listening, sort of like, and I said, "Just too many people. Sorry, I will be out like in a minute." I don't remember the exact words, and he was like something like, "What's happening?" or something, and I said, "Too many people." Then he was like, "Are you hiding?" Yeah, sort of. Then I was like, just waiting for a few minutes and heard like that the noise is gone or whatever. Then he asked, "Are they gone?" Yeah, thanks. Goodbye. Have a nice day. And then I left. Once actually, I was missing for 2 years. Not even my bosses know. I mean, like, not even the president of Finland didn't know where I am. My colleagues thought that I died. I don't even remember where the fuck I was, but I know that I went home after. I said to, I probably said to somebody before I took alternative route that this is where I'm gonna go separate path, but it was complicated. Anyway, so let me take a look, see what's happening. Okay, so Mr. Biden was in. Ooh, exciting. About Joe Biden's visit. I'm big fan. I'm big fan of him. Okay. Shit. I should like close some of those tabs because I have like probably like 70 open at this moment and two different browsers and stuff. So, and that's just the like tip of the iceberg of things what I have like going on, and even in this moment, beside or outside of this recording. Uh, Last 6 months, I basically documented about 200 hours of my work, but is still unpublished. And it's a little bit I have published it, but not nearly everything, because what I have learned by the hard way is messaging. And Ronti, can you use computer? Ronti is my dog. And also I have a colleague who actual name is Ronti, but not referring to this one right now. He's a really nice gentleman. Uh, he's a secret agent as I am also. But anyway, I haven't seen him for years, but I know he's doing well. I hope. I hope. I I should be informed if he has problems still. Last time I heard from him, he was in India. There was a small hiccup or something, but I think that it was a misunderstanding. I trust Indian government. Been with, I've been working with them, but haven't been in India in 10 years. That's a long time. 2012 is the last time I was in India. Should go there for a visit. There are friends who misses me a lot. Actually, sorry. Yes, I have been after. I visited. I was briefly, like maybe 1 day or 2 days. I was in India. I was in there working in the Air Force, sort of like a private security guard or pilot. I don't remember which. But anyway, so basically, I just remembered a little bit wrong that I did visit India afterwards, than 2012, and I have good memories of India, and also one complicated situation. I'm not sure what's the like what's the sort of like situation behind the curtains, how to say, but my my colleague, meaning my boss, fell in love with me, and she was married woman, and I respect her, and we weren't like that way close. We were in platonic relationship because of the working situation, but she fell in love with me, and she like said to me that, hey, I would like to have some more. Would that be possible? And and I was tempted, but then I was like, I asked from her that, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Did I understand right that you're married? And she said, what is the situation? And she said that her husband would like accept, but I just didn't felt comfortable with that, having sex with a married woman or being the third wheel in their relationship. And unfortunately, I think they had a divorce. And I met the husband. He is my colleague and or my boss, more like, actually, in India also. And I said to him when we met, when we had a talk about this, that we talked it out, we figured it out. I told him how do I view the thing, meaning that we didn't have a problem or anything, and still doesn't have a problem, but it was confusing situation to meet him also, and also to have the situation with her ex-wife. I don't know. I hope they're together. There is a small possibility that they just would like to have of help with having a baby. If that is the case, or any other, they should just tell it to me straight. It wouldn't not be a problem because we will take care of it through the hospital without physical contact. They could do it together. Like I would just, donate a little bit of the genes to a jar. That's it. Because in that way, it wouldn't be like a problem for me, you know? And this is really personal stuff. That's what makes it really complicated because you can't really know. Like it's the same thing as tattoos, right? I don't have any. I've been thinking about to have one, but I'm still not sure if I'm going to get one. Even I've drove them, but just still thinking about it. I have been thinking about having a tattoo for 17, 18 years. So I'm not in a rush. Very strong coffee I have because I feel my heart beating. Maybe I should take a blood pressure measurement. Nothing wrong with my heart. Actually, I'm in a top athlete shape, but I've been just stressed and a little bit sick. So I'm trying to take care of myself. Sometimes, if you're working as a salesman or whatever, you need to have faith. I used to work as a business to business salesman years ago, and that's something where religion uh, or sort of like politics uh, was involved in a way, but meaning that if I would choose my clients, that I will only sell to like non-profitable organization like church, which was my client. I did sell for church and different there are many different. There is like Orthodox, there's the Mormon, there is the Evangelist and others, and also like if you know anything about India, there is like many the uh, um, Hindu. It's a philosophy. It's not a religion, but where is the border in that? I mean, like I have a Ganesh somewhere. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere around here, but I have a Ganesh. But also I have a painting of Buddha just over there, and I'm a Christian based. But I'm also studying like etymology and archaeology and this kind of stuff. So it's hard to tell. Yeah, and yeah, I can beat myself up pretty good. I had a whip, actual whip, not the toy whip, not the sex toy. I mean like slave whip, what you use for training elephants. And actually, uh, it's not here, but oh, there it is. Actually, I made one also. And this is not the decoration, this is actual functioning weapon. Now somebody is getting like wet panties somewhere. Ooh, you could spank me. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Let me make it working then. Do you really want me to make this working? I can, but it needs some weight. Instead, I could use a little bit thicker wire. It's this one. This one is 5 times 2.5 millimeters of thickness. That will fucking hurt if I hit you with that. But the thing is that if I need to use violence, then I already failed. Why? Because then I didn't play my cards right. Finger Frankie. You would like to enter my casino if I would have a game. I'm sure. It's a private game. If I want to have a game, I can have a game. When I was in China, I visited casino. Had quite fun time. Oh man. I also received a warning when I was in the border. Because China's really uh, forward forward country. Everything happens through the military, so that's like complicated. But I understood why when I was in there. And as I said, I have a child actually with a Chinese woman. If anybody touches my little girl, you have a really big problem with me. But don't worry though. If you are my client or my boss, the only thing you need to do is speak the truth with me. Then we can work out something. Then I can do something. But if you are like, maybe I am mistaken, maybe you are mistaken, maybe we're both right. We don't know before we have that conversation. Am I right? It's like that we are checking that we are on the same level here. Like level out with me, dude. And uh, I wouldn't make my colleagues or my bosses to guess. But if somebody will have to make a decision while I'm gone, they are managers. They have more experience than I do. It's like chain of command, sort of. I'm not going to destroy something what somebody before me already started. I'm trying to like continue from that. Uh, this is sort of like philosophy. What I could also say in different way that if I would come to work in your working place, if you would want me to be like a manager or something, then I would have to ask from you what is the first or biggest obstacle what I can remove from your path to help. Like, help me out. What we're doing here? How do we work here? What are the rules? What are the like? What's working well? What needs to be developed? Guide me, because I'm not going to come to your working place and start to change everything. No fucking way. It will take me more than a year to about 1 year to adapt. Like the first 6 months is like you're just you know you're like a small baby who's trying to first crawl, and then you lift up, and then you slowly but surely start to like understand the whereabouts. Nice news. Mr. President Biden was, we liked him so much. We liked him so much. We also liked Mr. Trump, of course, but just saying that let the best man win, sirs. But hey, Mr. Trump would approve that I can say that I like his style. Even he's a competitioner. We will play it straight. We will play it smart. Huh? I don't see a problem with having like healthy competition. We just need to agree upon some things. All right? Some rules and boundaries. And I hope that the problem with the secret information is solved, because uh, I just I don't know the details enough accurately, but I don't think that it was. I don't think this is my personal opinion, but I don't know for the facts. But I I don't think that nobody wanted to weaponize the court system to harm you, sir. This is my personal belief. I think that because of the Finland is getting to part of NATO, which is a good thing. Don't worry about it, sir. We are not going to lose a thing. We didn't lose a thing. So so I'm working on it. Give me some time to clear up my stuff. And whatever kind of problems you have in there right now, you have good police officers. So I'm just saying that I'm busy over here. And sometimes it is an hard to see what is what. If it depends, sort of like who you ask from. From Mr. President Donald Trump's perspective, maybe it was like an weaponizing the court system. Okay, he said that the democratic or democratics, as in a government uh, form, would be behind this. I don't know, sir. Are you saying that Mr. Biden would use that kind of strategy? I don't know, sir. Do you want me to lie, or do you want me to guess? So please forgive me. I rather not comment on thing what I am not sure about how it is before I actually see some kind of like trail or evidence or something. And I'm not saying that it should be public information, sir. No. If Mr. Trump is seeing this, I'm not sure if this message is going to be broadcasted in the television or whatever, but I'm going to send it to an embassy of New York or Washington, and they will have the contact for Mr. Trump at least, and contact Mr. Biden to hmm. Something strange is happening though. Not right now, but in general, there has been changes in society in Finland, and I'm not sure if it's because of Russia or their actions. It's complicated as fuck. It might be also that it's a result of public opinion. I mean, like, uh, when you're young, you're naive. You don't necessarily know what you wish for, but this also is a question of perspective and viewpoint and personal beliefs. How, like, people make mistakes. People make mistakes, and what is the mistake they are making? Like, maybe I'm saying some in some way I'm talking about journalism, but the media has huge responsibility. That's the key. But they're also doing their job. But sometimes you get frustrated by doing your job because you don't necessarily succeed on that, maybe, or I don't know. Depends. I'm 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 trying to be simple and easy to understand, but in the same time, I'm thinking that should I be even talking about this? I mean that I don't want to make mistakes. Nobody wants to make mistakes. As in a police officer, it is fucking mandatory for my job that I can trust on what I am doing. But that being said, I'm also obligated to fuck obey the law, meaning that if I use violence without necessary or authorized need for that, then I would make a crime myself. But sometimes this is a question of viewpoint. Sometimes you don't necessarily, as in a civilian, understand what's the situation. But how the fuck I should know who's a civilian and who's a double agent or secret agent? I mean, like, it's complicated. Not working as an undercover anymore because I just can't. I can't. But it's not too long time ago when I wasn't really infiltrating, but I almost got at least beat up because there was something out of the ordinary in bad timing. Maybe it was good timing. Who knows? Depends who you ask for from. I mean, yeah, I know what was the situation. I didn't get beat up, which is nice. And even if I would, I wouldn't like be upset about it. I will probably forgive my colleague. It wasn't their fault. They couldn't know because it wasn't like pre-planned. They just wanted to keep me safe. They didn't want me to go to that way. But the end result could have been deadly too. I mean, I could get killed. How many times you have been pointed gun like this at point blank range? Me personally, real life situations, at least 5. None of them I had any kind of like, I didn't have a gun, didn't have bulletproof vest, didn't have basically anything. I didn't need to. I would not recommend that type of strategy to anybody because I'm responsible for my team. And sometimes accidents happen. In example, 2 of my colleagues that I don't know what was the situation, it was in a different precinct than I am, but I just heard the voice recording from emergency, the 911 call because it was published after the incident. But some crook fucking shot him in the head. Like the bullet didn't go through, it just, go like on the forelobe. But I was like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? Like, I know that they survived, and the bad guy was of course like caught and everything, but I was thinking like, how the fuck this happened? Like, how the fuck this is even possible? Have I fucked up somehow? Is this my fault? These were like my first uh, things what I was thinking about. How to prevent this? And where the fuck is that motherfucker? I want to have a word with him. Don't worry, he's in prison. But also, I have friends in prison, in both sides of the law. But everybody who are in the wrong side of the law will also know that even they know me, they know that they should not give the guards any fucking hard time. Because what they have done, dude. If you get fucking caught, you pay your fucking crime, but you have a life after. You have a life after the prison. Police doesn't torture people or anything like that. But that's a black op thing. But we try to take care of you. We try to help you. Sometimes it is an question of viewpoint. What is help? What is not? Some people need like hardcore strategies, but you don't want me to be this violent, angry man. You don't. I could beat you up with a stick. I will beat you up so badly that you wouldn't even be recognized from your teeth charts. And after I would beat you up that you're just a mush, then I would clean up the fucking mess. I mean, like, clean up in the way that there is no fucking trace of you ever existed. Do you really want me to do that kind of things? I think not. I think that you just want me to be myself. I hope that I am allowed to be myself. You know why? Because I have to live with the decisions what I make. I have to be able to live with those consequences. I have to be okay with that. I don't know. I'm having a small pain in the hand. I'm. I think I have a small infection or something going on. I can I can smell it when I take toilet. My urine smells like that my kidneys are not feeling well. I don't know what's wrong, but it might be because of teeth. There is a infection in one of my teeth, and that's like sort of like poisoning my body. I should go to dentist, and it will be all over. Like it will be taken care of. But it's not like a emergency. I don't need to do it today. I should take care of it as soon as possible. But to be honest, I'm really afraid of dentists. Had some bad experiences when I was younger, and also had quite good experiences when I was older. But let's just say that I'm busy. All right? Can you live with that? Yeah. Where the fuck's that lighter anyway? Gonna search for it and put some tunes behind the background for you. Maybe I should something like what I'm doing actually for work. This is glue bicep. There's how it rolls. All right, so shit, my uh, blehat got stuck on my hair. Now I look like almost like Einstein. Heh 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 heh. Anyway, so took a quick shower in the between, and you were listening to music. I was trying to sort of like do what I can in order to maintain like peace in, well, peace all over, you know, as much as I can, but meaning that it's goddamn complicated, sirs. In my company's foundation document, I have uh, uh, I had some predictions in there. What are almost like from NATO or UN foundation book, but it's not from there. I've read it myself from my head while I was thinking about it. Sort of make like a hypothesis, and it hasn't been updated so much lately. But it's easier to filter out something than add something. That means that you're allowed to make an exception. But the management of this kind of complicated thing that I'm running, meaning my stock exchange company or limited liability company, you need to have the same page with me in order to like evaluate it. That is it necessary? If it's not necessary, sir. But if I don't have the copy of that document, then it's a little bit complicated even for myself. Should I try to write it again from the memory? Because that's a long document, sir. Or sirs, or madam, or whoever you are. Like, I don't remember that many details without having my notes. It's pretty understandable. It's not common sense, but it's understandable that if I have too much of details to pay attention to or similar, then it's going to be a little bit more complicated. You know what I mean? Or if you don't just, ask for more information, but ask from me. Don't ask like if I am the one who has the answer, then you should really approach me, not somebody who cannot give you the answer. It's the same if you try to make a deal with my company. You there you have to speak with me to be authorized. Sure, there are some agents what are like in my team, and they also have meetings with clients and stuff, but uh, it's goddamn complicated. You know, a couple of times I've been just randomly, coincidentally, around when they had a meeting. I didn't have like pre-notice, but if they are having a meeting and if it is about or related to me, then they should say that, hey, hello, Ville, are you too busy? Can you join us for a moment? I always make a few minutes, or at least I try to, you know, give you a chance to have at least contact information to me or something, you know? But I'm sorry, but it has been really complicated because of the rules, basically. The protection stuff and secret stuff, what I'm not in the liberty to share. So, what the fuck? I mean, like, at this moment when I'm recording this, there is no. I don't see a problem right now. I don't. I hope that I don't see a problem tomorrow. At least in a professional way. In a personal life side, yeah, I'm in a little bit of trouble, but it's not going to. It's going to be all right. I still need to be a little bit patient here. Patient also means kind of sort of customer in hospital environment, by the way. And case, meaning bird case in English language could mean in Finnish kotelo. It means like computer case, or it could be like suitcase, depending on the situation. So there was just an talk about like that in example Finnair customer service being moved outside of Finland, and they don't have like Finnish manager in there at this moment, or no translator, or no connection to translator or something. And well, the customer happiness have been a little bit compromised, but I think that because they're using AI, they are developing it a little bit, or maybe they should just be using different kind of a different translator. I also experienced the same situation when I was traveling in let's say Middle East and in Asia region, where there is like Javanese literature, like the alphabet is Japanese in Japan, or Chinese. Uh, this I don't remember what's the alphabet's name, but they are quite complicated to write, and it is because of perspective and etymology. Because something might what I write, example that I translate one word, and I copy it when I'm like learning to write. Uh, because of the handwriting, it might look different from from depending on where you are living, because there are also different sort of like slang in this written language. This is cultural anthropology, by the way, the science behind this, and also etymology and linguistics. They are, in my perspective, they are connected, because I've been working with these kind of things. It's sort of like archaeology, but archaeology just does or works in a different environment. They are like the ones who are, in an example, Egyptologist is an archaeology. What the fuck? Sorry, I hope you understood. Uh, Astronaut, cosmonaut. I don't remember what's the Chinese uh, similar. There is a term for this. It's all about like linguistics and etymology. Sometimes, even when talking with somebody who is from Finland, there might be misunderstanding, just because of same word can mean different thing in here in the South Finland that it means in Middle Finland, and same goes if I go to the North Finland, it's a completely different thing. And sometimes these slang words might have another meaning in different language. So that makes etymology, linguistics, and cultural anthropology interesting in my mind. But there is also like there have been dangerous situations or misunderstandings what could have been dangerous Not maybe for myself, but if I accidentally say that I'm gonna kill you, even if I don't mean it, I think that's a fucking problem. Because if I didn't really mean to say that, then we would have a sort of like what the fuck type of situation. What's happening here? It could be dangerous. I've been in this type of situations and also almost got fucking killed. So sorry if I don't take these kind of things lightly. And and sometimes people just want to push your boundaries to get your attention, make wrong choices. And you need to have boundaries, rules, and this. But what are those for you? To me, they are laws and regulations and personal belief. It's no problem, or I'm okay with if like somebody wants to talk about sex. If I'm in the mood to talk about it, sure we can talk about it. But I mean, like, that could make me uncomfortable. It could be uncomfortable for you too if you sort of like misread the situation or something. You might get jealous. You might be offended. Even I didn't mean no offense. That's what I'm talking about. More or less, I think it's competition. Like, one of my colleagues, actually, who's working beneath me, he tries to like step up and be sort of like me, because that is his job. But he doesn't know that what kind of rules we actually have in this department. I think that's a problem. And there is an there is so many different things. I mean, like, as I said, I'm busy. I'm working with projects. I have a lot of details, and I'm not sure who I should be informing about and what about. You know, that's one of the things what I have on my plate. But it has been 6 years since I took any kind of vacation, and I'm trying to figure my shit out. Keep the boat floating and steady course. But it doesn't mean that I would apply same kind of management what we have in security industry in society in overall. No fucking way. If you simplify a little bit things, the Republican or Democratic governance model, they don't have that much like difference in USA soil, but in Finland it has a huge difference. It has a huge governmental difference, sort of. And also, if you go to Russia, there is a totally different governance model, because their governance model is based on like military, more or less. But Russians are not bad people. They just have complicated law system, which is quite sophisticated, to be honest. But it is complicated. But it's sophisticated. It's beautiful in a way, but it's goddamn fucking complicated. And I'm shit fuck scared to even talk about this stuff, because you might misunderstood something, or maybe I'm mistaken or something. Maybe I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong or mistaken, what would be the situation in that case? I hope nothing dangerous. I hope I'm not in a problem. I hope that I have succeeded in whatever I've been trying to do so far. It has been preserving the peace inside Finnish nation borders, outside Finnish nation borders, globally. That's what I try to do. I'm if my company will be part of something directly like I mean that my limited liability company, it would be an subsection of United Nations, Finnish government, and also soon or in the early winter time, also Sweden will be uh, a part of NATO. Okay, that's cool, no problem. What comes to the Ukraine? I think that it will be an sort of like athletic and general courtesy to if Mr. Zelensky would would approve that we need independent, unpolitical uh, sort of like military, meaning the United Nations, to sort of like take care of the infected thing. And I will be participating on that project in many ways I can. It means that we will have at least ceasefire and we will start rebuilding. And what is related to Ukraine, I would vote no. I would vote no that we are not going to make an exception or make an um, or we wouldn't make an exception or change the rules to please Mr. Zelensky or Mr. Putin in that case. I would vote no. I would say no. I would firmly stand my ground in this. Why? Well, I know for a fact that the Great Russian Federation, it's not bad place. It's extremely capitalistic place. That's their etymology, their culture. Russia is quite a liberal place, but it is big and it is still developing in some forms, and so is many other places. In example, India just got their first really beautiful um, um, air. What's this? Lentotukialus. What's that in English? Aircraft carrier. They have really nice state-of-the-art new ship. I think it was called Vikris. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Just saying that we are developing, and what we need to do in example and what I'm working with is like how to reduce the greenhouse greenhouse gases, meaning carbon dioxide, how we can like ease up the situation. There is many different ways to try to affect this, but the best like position to help in this is, to me, it's there is like sort of like two choices. Either I can teach those people who are still in the working life to uh, how to work with these kind of things with responsible way and not damage to the environment, meaning recycling and work techniques and many other things. And it is a little bit complicated, as I say, but the uh, that there are things what we are able to take care of, and then there are things what we should not be messing with. There has been an lessons in history, meaning in example when there has been a scientific uh, experiments about making dams and stuff to make electricity. It has had an effect to what kind of fish or other things, other creatures are living in that region, and sometimes even good projects can have like problems, or it can also be that they might fail because they are too whatever. Maybe the people who was working within the project just didn't have the enough skills or something to achieve what they wanted to have, or maybe their viewpoint of the subject was a little bit off, you know, and maybe there wasn't nobody to help them. Maybe they didn't know who to ask from. I don't know. Depends. What are we talking about exactly? I'm not referring to anything specific. I'm just, trying to like explain in general meaning what I try to say here. Anyway, it's 12:30. It's sort of like siesta time, and I'm not having a siesta. I'm staying comfortably in the office and looking for that rose what's in my desk. That's really beautiful, by the way. I grew it myself. I just yesterday cut it out. I'm I'm t- I want to enjoy it for a few days. There is more of these coming, and it's going. It likes when it cuts. When I cut it a little bit, it makes it crazy. Like it's blooming, and have couple of things on my list. One of them is this gardening project, that is going to be ready in about 1 month from now. About and it's called cheese, by the way. Never guess what's that. Not saying that Finland is quite conservative place in many meanings, and I like the conservative. And in example, um, making weed legal here would probably give more problems than it would solve, or at least it would create difficulties for some people. So it's like that. If you need to have medical cannabis, you can go to doctor. In here, it's public sector or private sector doctor, but there is no, it's a different kind of thing that it is in the United States of America, or what it is inside the Europe. But it's sort of like a secret thing. It's alright if you have like, I don't know, 4 plants or whatever. Just, don't sell it to people. Don't make it because you are making a career out of it, unless you are studying plants in university or something. Then you are growing also different breeds. But I try to just, you know focus on the real stuff, and and this is my personal viewpoint, but if you are under 25, you shouldn't even be fucking smoking because your brain and kidney and everything is still developing. This is the truth. Young people think that cannabis could be harmless. It's not. It's not harmless. But neither is alcohol either. It means that, you know, responsibility. Be responsible. Take care of yourself. Don't hurt yourself. There's good doctors and everything, yes, of course, but we try to focus on preventing bad stuff to happen than let you hurt yourself. Because it is easier to try to stop you before you're going to hurt yourself than fix the situation while you already did something stupid to yourself. As in a doctor, I always, when I see that somebody has done something to themselves, example, there was young actor about 27, if I remember right. She was quite beautiful, but she I don't know, maybe she was hanging around wrong kind of people, or maybe she was too demanding for herself or something, but she made a suicide. And she was a colleague of a friend of mine or ex-boss of mine. And I tried to reach out to this old boss of mine through something, some organization where he works with, but their security rules was blocking my message. So I couldn't send the message. I just wanted to say to my colleague that, hey, if you want to speak with me, here's my contact information. Anyway, I think this is enough long, and this is sort of like documentary, obviously. And these are getting way too fucking long anyway. Have a nice day.